I'm Katie from the Blog Hearts Content Farmhouse, and what I'm going to do today is show you how to make a really good pizza dough recipe from scratch. This is a simple recipe that just uses pantry ingredients. You do need bread flour for this. That's going to help give you a really chewy crust that browns really well, and you do need time. It needs to be made 24 hours in advance. It can be made up to 3 days in advance. So some people might see that as a downside, but I really like that about it. We have pizza every Friday night for dinner, so every Wednesday I know that I'm going to make this. It's going to be in the fridge, ready to go for later that week. So you can weigh flour for this. I'm going to include weight measurements, but lately I've just started doing it by volume, and I found that has worked just fine. So we're going to start with 3 cups. We're going to start with 3 cups of bread flour. If you have 00 flour available where you live, that is actually a really good flour for pizza dough. I don't have that, and if I were to order it, it's really expensive. So I'm just using plain old King Arthur bread flour. And then we're going to do sugar. It's going to be 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. The sugar might seem like a lot, but it doesn't. The pizza dough does not taste sweet at all, especially since you are letting it sit for 24 hours. Any sugar that would make it seem sweet gets eaten up by the yeast. So there's no sweet taste to this dough at all, but the sugar gives it flavor, so don't leave it out. And then we are going to go ahead and mix in our water. We're going to do 1 3/4 cups of water for this. A lot of people will say you should use ice water for pizza dough. But I don't find ice water to be necessary. I just do water out of the tap. We're going to mix this just to moisten the flour and combine that. And then we are going to add the final ingredients after this. So it's just going to be a few seconds. I'm going to count to 10. That's better. So it's still a sticky dough, and that texture of it will change in the fridge. So it's going to look sticky, it's going to be hard to work with, and that's how you want it to look. If you add more flour at this stage, it's going to be too dense. So don't add more flour. Okay, so now that we have those ingredients combined, I'm going to go ahead and put in our salt and our oil. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. So 2 teaspoons of salt, 1, 2, a little extra Winkilio. And now you can use vegetable oil or olive oil. It's really not important. I'm going to use olive oil because I have more of it up here, and that's what I feel like using. So this is just 1.5 tablespoons, which means that our dough, which already seems wet, is going to get even wetter, and that's fine. So 1.5 tablespoons. And now we need just a very small amount of yeast. We're going to do 3/4 teaspoon. For that, I'm going to use my teaspoon measuring spoon and just have it a little bit short. Okay. And now we're going to actually knead this in the food processor. It's going to take about a minute of kneading, but we don't want to burn our motor out. See, I can feel that it's already warm just from mixing what I mixed before. So I am going to do 30 seconds, and then I'm going to give it a little break, do 30 seconds more, and that will knead everything. You'll be amazed how quickly a food processor can knead dough. Just don't overwork it by trying to increase the amounts in this recipe. Dough has been sufficiently kneaded when you can take a small ball of it and you see what is called a window in the dough. So that would be like a clear, stretchy, see-through. I do not yet have a window in this dough. That means my gluten is not adequately developed. You can see I'm starting to get a little one there, but it's not quite. I'm going to do another 30 seconds and we'll check again. Okay. I'm going to guess that it is ready, but let me just check. Okay, so now I'm seeing windows. I'm seeing little translucent areas. That means that the gluten has developed in this. And since it's going to sit 24 hours, you don't have to be as paranoid about kneading it and developing the gluten, because that is going to help with time as it rests in the fridge. So we're just going to put this into an oiled bowl, cover it, and like I said, it needs to be at least 24 hours and up to 3 days. And once it's done, after its resting time, there are a number of things you can do with it. Of course, you can make pizza, obviously. You can make pizza bread. You can make breadsticks, and I'm going to share recipes for those coming up in the next couple weeks. But for now, I just wanted to show you how to do a simple homemade pizza dough that you can use as a starting point for any recipe. It is super easy. This took me less than 10 minutes, and there is no reason that you need to do anything extra. So, thank you for watching. I hope you try this.